A happy bunch of cricketers in the middle. The Irish haven't had it their own way in the one-day international and the first couple of T20 internationals, but today they have really dominated terms. Right from the word go, they have really troubled the Bangladeshi batters, chipped away on a regular basis, haven't really allowed them to build up partnerships. Going to be Huskin Ahmed now. He can wield the willow. He's had a deliberate effort in the nets to improve his batting in the recent past. But the best is only 15 not out. This is an opportunity for him to approach this innings sensibly, with Bangladesh still to play out almost 10 overs of this innings. This is the wicket.
Straight. That's the key. We've been asking for that for some time now, for Ireland to just adjust their lines, get a little bit tighter on the stumps, and they've done that so much better today.
It's paid off so very well. Huskin Ahmed will be realizing that the lines are straighter. Still a decent batting track from some of the shots that Bangladeshi batters have played. No real gremlins in the wicket. It's just some disciplined approach. And this is the cap presentation for the young man. Humphreys very pleased and has delivered the goods. Interesting, isn't it? The batter Rishad, when he came in first scoring strike as a debutant, was a 6, and his first ball in T20 internationals is a wicket.
Come on.
I wonder how long Tuscan will be prepared to nudge the ball back here. We know he's an aggressive player. Every single batter has been aggressive. Does he follow suit?
I hope not. Still 10 overs to go after this. He's strong his bat. Now that's going in the air. There's a fielder lining up, and he's got him. That is not the right approach. Throwing his bat straight away. And Bangladesh, well, I think they've become a little complacent in their attitude, and it's not working for them at all.
Well, it may not be the right approach, but this is the approach that they're taking. This is what Bangladesh feel will take them forward in global cricket, particularly in this format of the game. But this young man has his second. And Tuscan, he doesn't trouble the scorers. Bangladesh 61 for 7.
Another down, Nasser Ahmed. Now he's not a batter who can just really shown his wares. Just 19 is high so far. Just feel that just the wickets falling, cannot really understand the thought process. It's easy to say that it is their approach they've decided to go with, but so early in the innings and knowing that there's a fielder in the deep at mid-wicket, Huskin Ahmed only into second delivery, just to hold out. Knew he was in trouble straight away. And it's a well-judged catch. Just leaned back with camphor and took it quite comfortably. Slip in position. Throw to nicely to open his account. What is going through his mind? You didn't expect this Bangladesh started to bat. He'll be very, very happy with the turnaround of events. What a dream start here for Humphreys. Couple of wickets in his heavy innings in his very first over.
You asked the question about what do you think the two coaches will be thinking. I think they'll be thinking along similar lines, to be honest. I think the Bangladesh coach will be saying it's okay. We've played unbelievable cricket up until now. And Ireland needs to be very realistic about how they've played before this, which hasn't been exceptional. They can't afford this to be a one-off situation. They need to replicate this. 10 gone, 64 for 7.
There's the sorry batting card of Bangladesh, 64 for 7, and 3, 4, 5, 6 batters have been caught out of the 7, and that shows the result of the approach. Of course, that's the downside. We've seen the brighter side in the past 2 T20 internationals, but they've mentioned it, and now today, well, much to the dismay, Bangladesh fans are seeing it 64 for 7. Bangladesh at the moment, even though Ireland have lost the toss. And, well, courtesy of that, Bangladesh have got to bat first. There's the camp. Good afternoon, Atar Bhai. We've mentioned the fellow commentators as well. Humphreys, the debutant, to continue. That, yes, if you go take this brave approach, it might show the reverse image. And we're seeing it very soon. But perhaps when you've lost the 3rd, 4th, or the 6th wicket, do you pause a bit and assess and play according to the conditions?
Have a look at the batting lineup, Shamim. If you lose 6 wickets, you're out of the game straight away. It's the kind of approach that we have been speaking about. That's what we've been watching over and over again. But there has to be a moment for the team to realize that when do you stop that approach? It has been a brilliant approach so far before this match. But when you keep on losing wickets one after another, they were 41 for 4. And they had picked 6 batters. So when you're already down 4 in the 6th over, perhaps maybe a change of approach was expected, which didn't come. It's bound to happen. It's bound to happen. It's only the 11th over. They're already 7 down. I have to wait and see what these two, Nasir Ahmed and Shamim Hussain, can do.
Texture to continue. He's bowled well in the 2nd T20I as well, and continuing with that form. Yes, some of the deliveries were there to be hit, but it was all part of the tactics from Ireland.
I think it was all about the approach from the batters. And we're going to go and keep on playing big shots one after another, no matter if you lose 1, 2, 3, 4, or even more wickets. And I think they bowled a little bit more straighter because most of the batters have been caught in deep mid-wicket, pointed out by H.T. Ackerman. I was right at the back when he was talking about it. So the line of attack has improved for Ireland bowlers, especially in this match. They've bowled a little bit more straighter through the stumps. So instead of hitting down the ground, they're trying to hit towards the mid-wicket. And that has worked in their favor. So full credit to Ireland. They need to finish it off as quickly as possible.
Going for a speed, big loud appeal from Harry Tector. Umpire not interested, no one else either. Taking a quick single, perhaps going down the leg side. He himself discussing that with the wicketkeeper too. Will be a single to end the over. They're going for it. Yes, they've taken the review.
TV umpire to director. We have a player's review given not out. I have checked front foot. It's a fair delivery. go move on to frontal spin vision. Move forward. Move forwards. Just look very close to bat. Can have ultra edge for confirm. Move forward. Flat line. Flat line. Gap bat and ball. Can I have ball tracking when you are ready? Original decision not out. Pitching outside the leg. Go back to on field. Ghazi, you are on the screen. Stay with your original decision. Thank you.
Very evident. Pitching outside leg. Matthew Humphreys will continue, still taking their chances. Ireland, and why not? 7 wickets down for Bangladesh. Humphreys will be bowling to Shamim Hussain. Deep backward square leg and deep mid wicket for him as well. A long on, long off, and a deep point on the offside. Well, going at a run rate of 6.18, how do you pace? Well, of course, the aim will be to play out the 20 overs.
Well, there's no other option for Bangladesh, is there? 69 for 7. 35 dots. Problem has been the wicket column for Bangladesh. I mean, you don't mind seeing that approach and you're trying new things, but there will be moments like these when knowing that Bangladesh or any team, if they start with that kind of approach and start losing wickets one after another, there needs to be a change of approach. That's exactly what we are talking about here. And there has been none, which is fine. I mean, if you play with that kind of approach, then expect to lose also. Don't expect to just go and win every time you go and go with this kind of a mindset.
Yeah, and as mentioned by fellow commentator H.J. Ackerman, if that is the case, it should be accepted by the fans and the media as well. Of course, you back them up, you give them the confidence, motivate them to go and play positive cricket, but also balance it out a bit. That's a cracking shot. That was full, and he's taking advantage of it. Down the ground, through covers for 4.
Yeah, it's a low full toss. Not a low full toss, it was just a wide full toss. And he was in business. Thumped it away through the covers for the boundary. Yeah, they will get opportunities. He's a handy bat. Don't forget that. More than capable of scoring runs. But he's running out of partners. Running first from very hard, so it'll only be a single though. Good work from the deep. Restricting
Very good, boys, very good.
the batters for a single.
Yeah, they've been pretty economical with the ball in hand. Humphreys just going for 10, taking 2 important wickets. 1 more ball to go. They should be happy. Better late than never. A rare good over for Bangladesh. Will be 7 runs off it. Bangladesh 75 for 7. 14 and 12 are the only two numbers in double figures in terms of the batting scorecard is concerned. Shamim in 19 of 17 at the moment, trying to build a partnership, rehabilitate Bangladesh. The batting order, of course, with Nasum Ahmed with 8 overs to go. Quite a bit of work to do. Curtis Camphor is back in action. Short third, short fine, long on, long off, deep mid wicket for Shamim Hussain on strike. Hands quickly taking a single, that's good calling.
From here on, Nasum Ahmed will need to play a really big part because Shamim Hussain has looked comfortable. 20 of 18 with 3 boundaries. We just need to make sure that he doesn't get out and make sure that he doesn't play too many dot deliveries from here on. The areas that he can target to rotate the strike is on the onside. There's only one fielder at mid-wicket saving the singles. There are 3 on the offside. He's coming round the wicket. Curtis Camphor gets Shamim Hussain on strike.
That's nicely glanced. Runs quickly, but there is a fielder. Humphreys there. Will throw back in. Yes, so there are 2 changes made today in the Bangladesh side. Rishad Hussain, the debutant, coming in place of Mehdi Hasan Miraj. Shariful Islam coming in place of Mustafa Zurias, having won the T20 series as well. You can afford to do that. But losing wickets quickly, you miss someone like Mehdi Hasan Miraj in today's condition. Rishad Hussain, yes, he likes to go after the bowling as well. We've seen that first ball he faced. Coming back to that. That's a good change of pace from Camphor. But yes, missing Mehdi Hasan Miraj a bit.
Well, I think Bangladesh realizing the fact that since they have wrapped up the series, they want to try out new players. And it was probably the right idea to go and pick up someone like Rishad Hussain because Bangladesh in their need of a wrist spinner. Make no mistake here. Short ball. This ball is for the 2. It's in the gap. Might be a boundary. It's very well done in the deep. He's come back for the second. So to pick up Rishad Hussain, I think was absolutely fine. But it's the batting that has let them down.
Absolutely perfect opportunity. Play Rishad Hussain, but perfect fielding from Fionn Hand at deep mid wicket. Definitely saving a couple of runs, precious runs. Camphor, all the deliveries he's bowled a bit short, changed the pace against Shamim Hussain. And again, they're prompting the batsman, the batter, to hit along cow corner and deep mid wicket.
He's having a look around the field set for him on the onside. That's the shorter side of the boundary on the onside for Shamim Hussain, the left-hander, and also for Nasum Ahmed from that end, 61 meters.
That's flicked in the air. Few bounces to the fielder. Just a check shot. Single to end the over. 5 off it. 80 for 7 after 13. Yeah, pretty much everyone filling up the wickets column except for Fionn Hand, who's gone for 9 of the 1, but a couple of wickets for Market Air and Matthew Humphreys on debut. Wicket apiece for Tector, Camphor and White, of course, so the spinners have stood out as well. And there has been a change in approach, as Athaba, you mentioned as well. So this has been very, very good from Ireland with the ball in hand.
Over here, lads.
wide, starts off with a wide.
The spinners have bowled well. To be honest, even every bowler has bowled and showed very good improvement. Well done. Really good piece of fielding. It was just going past through on the right side to dive and stop it. Because it is short and wide. And in terms of line and lengths, all bowlers have showed improvement. Much closer and also a lot fuller. Ben White starting with the wide and a dot. Again, too much. Short and wide, but this has been put away to at long on for a single. And just have a look at this. Ireland spinners in this series before today, all over the place. How short they were. Today, have a look at this cluster. Just got a little bit closer and narrower towards the wicket. So it's a huge improvement and well done, Ireland, to create pressure by bowling in those areas and then picking a wicket at regular intervals was a big bonus. The partnership with that single now 22. They want to come back for the second. Shamim Hussain says no.
Well, the last thing they want is a run out. The idea is pretty clear. Shamim Hussain's going to take most of the strike and lead this partnership on 24 of 24. It is a Friday. It's a weekend. The beautiful port city of Chattogram. Going for the reverse, will find the gap. He connects it so well, does Shamim Hussain. One bounce for 4.
Yes, he made debut for Bangladesh against Zimbabwe at Harare in July 2021, Shamim Hussain. That's a really good pickup reverse. Top selections have been good. He looks a little bit more calm, doesn't he? If you compare him with the rest of the batters who've come and gone back to the pavilion. A welcome boundary for Bangladesh. If they can manage to hang on and play 20 overs, or maybe 120, 130 even, very much possibility. It gives you something for the bowlers to go and try to defend, and that's exactly what they need to do in that direction.
This is good batting. Commendable. Soft hands. He's taken a boundary, then taken a single. Already 8 of this over.
They're playing down the ground, so he's representing the full face of the bat. And this is also a big test for him, knowing that the cream, the top crop of Bangladesh batting is already back in the pavilion. So he was in quite a bit of a pressure when he came on at number 6. 9 in that over, 89 for 7.
The weekend crowd in here at the Zohar Ahmed Chaudhary Stadium, and that's the right way to go about it. Keep on backing your team, supporting your team, even though, especially when they're down 89 for 7 at the moment, going at 6.36. Bangladesh in bilateral T20I series at home since 2020. So they've had a decent record, in fact pretty good. It's just losing to Pakistan. So, and back-to-back wins right after the win against whitewash against England, the world champions.
That's a great track record if you're looking at what they've done since 2020. They've been very good. The message for the teams traveling to Bangladesh knows this. They've been very good. They've only lost to Pakistan since 2020, drawn up with Afghanistan. The rest they've won. That is a very good track record at home for them. Up and over, just over. And he just finds the boundary. The bowler had his hands on his head. He thought there might have been a wicket, but it's a boundary, to the relief of the fans.
A few on hand coming back into the attack. Market air at mid-on. Almost had it. It was full. It was there to be hit. Nasum Ahmed this time took his chance. Oh, very close. Just whiskers away from the fingertips.
Yeah, the idea was good because the fielder was at the mid-on, but didn't get enough elevation. Yes, in the end it's a boundary, but it was very close to the outstretched hand of that fielder.
In the block hole. This is a good battle. Good comeback from Pune hand. So Nasum Ahmed also taking his chances. This is good to see. Still about 5 overs to go.
When he wants to play a big shot, he needs to be calculative rather, to make sure that he gets it right. Short ball, let it go to the keeper. But this is turning out to be a good partnership. It's not 32 of 32. When he came on to bat in the crease, they were 7 down for 61 in loads of trouble. But both Shamim Hussain and Nasum Ahmed have watch in and make sure that they have some partnership going on. That's sloppy. That's very sloppy. Overthrows.
Will get an extra run. Harry Tector going with the throw. Trying to take another wicket. There is a short mid-wicket in place. There was for Nasum Ahmed. Was taking his chance, but Shamim Hussain was well in. So Bangladesh will get an extra run. And courtesy of that boundary, we saw the fielder at mid-on being moved to long on. For Nasum, now Shamim Hussain back on strike. 5 of this over. 1 more ball to go.
Bit of a chat between the bowler and fielder at long on, coming all the way. So there is long on and long off. And there are also 2 more fielders on the onside in the deep by the boundary ropes, and one at cover point.
Going to flick it, he's missed it. A big appeal from Pune hand. Only one perhaps. The wicketkeeper also thinks that's going down the leg. Should be the over. 5 off it. Paul Sterling still having a chance.
real concern for the first time for the support staff of Bangladesh, their head coach there. As number 10 walks to the wicket. Best ever white ball cricketer, arguably maybe the best cricketer that's ever been produced on the island, alongside the likes of Ed Joyce. That's driven nicely. Should be at least a couple if one hand does well in the deep. But that humility that he has, it's a great sign of a good leader, and all the team clearly look up to him.
And it's refreshing. It's refreshing from those. We hear them so often when it's a flash interview or something, and we get the same answers. Well, we're going to take the positives out of it, but it really wasn't. And I know the point you're making, where he said that he bowled too many seamers. He should have recognised that he needed to bowl more spin. He's done that today.
The other thing he said to you, if I remember correctly, H, is he said, I have to look at that and work on that and be better on Friday. So refreshing.
Yep, captain taking responsibility, and I also think the bowlers have taken it on the chin as well. I think they've been a lot better. Yes, there's still been some wide deliveries, but they've certainly been a lot tighter. Not everything hitting the stumps, but certainly tighter on the stumps. I know Atar Ali Khan was speaking about it a little bit earlier, but 5 dismissals have been caught mid-wicket, which suggests that batters are having to play across the line, horizontal bat shots, rather than their preferred down the ground, which suggests a little tighter and on a better length, not right under the batter's noses or too short.
Again, Sterling going over to his young leg spinner Delaney, asking him, where's this last ball going to go? Big change in the field. Deep backward point in place. Cover sweeper alongside long off. 3 in the deep on the offside now. He's trying to hide it away out there. Too wide. Delaney argues the batter stepped across. The umpire says no, he didn't. Arms extended, extra to the total. The 100 comes up.
I think he just stepped across to try and play a square cut. That was a wide.
A single to close out. A wicket taking over. The 16th is in the books. Bangladesh, 4 to go. 101 for 8. Eight wickets down, just 2 remain, and Ireland will be hunting an early finish to this innings. There is Heinrich Milan. He's actually only been in place for less than a calendar year, even though he was appointed in January of last year, because he wasn't available for the tour of the West Indies that Ireland took an ODI series victory in Sabina Park, and he also wasn't available for the T20 World Cup. He was completing his work down in New Zealand with the Auckland Aces. Very good record, didn't he, with at first the Central Stags, and then in first-class cricket with the Auckland Aces, and having had a really difficult tour, he's going to be so pleased with his boys turning things around to such a degree today.
He played a little bit of first-class cricket, but not a huge amount, and that's also quite refreshing, I think, from the establishment known as the Central Stags over in New Zealand, that they took a punt on someone who's a journeyman coach. Might just be a single. You know, so often now we see around the world, you've got to have international pedigree to be employed as a cricket coach now for virtually every single team, whether it be a franchise team, an international team, or even a domestic team. But there, Heinrich Milan is a great example of someone who played a bit of cricket but didn't excel, so went down the road of a cricket coach, did all his badges, went through all the levels, coached at a university, had tremendous success with Tuckey's University in Pretoria, South Africa, and has had success as a coach and deserves his opportunity to coach an international team.
Could be a chance just over the head, the mid-wicket fielder. I think New Zealand have really pioneered that. Gary Stead, you look at Glenn Pocknell, Mike Hessian, plenty of coaches who aren't coming from a former international background. They might have played a little bit of first class as Adair goes into the wicket like Heinrich Milan did. Just 41 years of age as well, a very young head coach. It's always a big move, isn't it? All the way from New Zealand, taking his wife and his family to Ireland. And they've had some great days out already. I know this tour has been difficult, but you look at victories over the world champions England at the T20 World Cup, the West Indies, Scotland as well. 2 or 3 occasions very nearly chasing down 225 against India last summer, losing by a run to New Zealand in a chase of 342. There's plenty of potential in this Irish side. They've just been under par so far in this tour.
The first time that he might have felt a little bit of pressure, Coach Athara Singh. But they have been exceptional over the last few months, Bangladesh. Yeah, I don't want to sour the moment for you, Andrew, because I know you're very patriotic, as is everyone else in this commentary box, and rightly so. But let me tell you, if Bangladesh sneak to 135, 140, just be careful. Just be careful.
It's the first time we've seen a scale in his face, really. He's been grinning from ear to ear. Edged and taken. Adair strikes. Going to be a long way to 135 now. Just one wicket needed. And Ireland are sensing a victory, and the crowd silenced.
That it will. That it will. He has a habit of taking wickets. He gets lots of wickets, Mark Adair, at T20 cricket. He finds the outside edge. And he has his third, the seamer. 3 for 13. He's been good today. Bangladesh. Shariful Islam goes for 5. 104 for 9.
Gorgeous facility here in Chattogram. The number 11 batter comes to the crease. He's bowled with real pace, fire and aggression. Young Hassan Mahmood, just 23 years of age. Such a young side, this Tigers team. They are going to have occasional days like this of inconsistency. Mark Adair has really turned things around as we get to the end of the 17th over. It's 104 for 9. Last man standing really for the home side. Shamim, Hussein, don't worry, we'll have to do something special in these last three. We'll want to face the majority of the remaining 18 deliveries. Try to battle Bangladesh up to maybe 130, 125 even. Could be defendable. I've seen some signs of turn on offer as Curtis Camphor is going to bowl his fourth and final over. Sterling continues to rotate his bowlers. Extraordinary stroke. Shot of the innings, maybe shot of the series, in fact. It's a switch hit, a reverse scoop, whatever you want to call it. It's gone all the way for 6.
Well, the wickets column has said to Shamim, it's time for me to show you the type of strokes that I do have. What a shot this is. Not only skillful, but brave. Well, the wickets column has said to Shamim, it's time for me to show you the type of strokes that I do have. What a shot this is. Not only skillful, but brave.
Heads into something. What's it come off? I think the pad, the flap of the pad. No appeal, no interest from the bowler.
This new high energy fearless brand of cricket that they play, because the modes of dismissal for Rishad, Tuskin, Nasum, Sharaful, they've all been big shots, and when you've got someone like Shamim still at the crease, your responsibility is to stick around with him. Let him do the damage. Let him get you to a total that you could possibly defend. So again, just your one.
Whilst Bangladesh will want to keep their winning streak going, they want to win every game, it's a great opportunity to expose a 22-year-old to a pressure situation in a match. How much do you learn about him when he comes in at 180 for 3 with 2 overs to go? Not a huge amount, but this has been his career best. It's just his 15th T20I today. He's batted really sensibly. It is a new high-octane approach, not just from these two sides, but all the way around the world, whether it's Brendan McCullum inspired, whatever the reason behind it, it's a changed game. Changed for the better, in my opinion, too.
It does leave the fans on a roller coaster ride, though. With the old up and down. Some days you're shouting from the rooftops, the next day you want everyone dropped.
Makes it even more entertaining, doesn't it? It really does. We've seen high scoring, and that's the first time I think he's been sitting high in his seat. We've seen him at some points despondent, almost complete despair. Ireland just need to close this out. 12 good deliveries after this one, maybe just one good one here. 2 overs remain to Nelson. 1-1-1 for 9. Some of the gathered dignitaries in the President's box. Friday being day off, we're in the holy month of Ramadan as well. As Ireland's tactic of bowling wide continues. this is a definite strategy. It hasn't been particularly well executed at points. But do you see sense behind it?
Well, if they feel that a batter, and we look at how Shamim try to play that shot, if a batter feels that you're going to bowl straight and he clears his right leg if you're a left-hander, clears his left leg if he's a right-hander, then going wide is not bad because it almost gets out of reach for a batter to try and hit you out the ground. And with Shamim turning down that single, that is certainly what he's looking to do.
He wants to, he's not going to get it. Curtis Camphor is an excellent fielder and keeps it to just the single. I think we do need to say a few words about Mark Adair as well. He has had maybe his most difficult tour ever in Irish colours. As you said, he's got a phenomenal wicket-taking record. He's taken 82 in 63 games coming into today. That's now 85 wickets. He was going around the park in both formats. His economy rate on this tour, in both formats combined, over 10. He was going at nearly 14s at some points in the T20s. But look at the fight back from him today. He's got 3 for 14. And he shows exactly why he's the leader of the attack here in a critical game for Ireland to fight back and get a first win on this tour.
Your top performers, they know how to bounce back. That's what separates the average from the good, and the excellent from the good as well. Is, you know, cricket is a game where you fail a lot. It is a really tough game from a mental perspective. And those that dwell on the failures often don't have long careers. Those who are able to park the failure and move on are those that have longevity in this very difficult game. And he has struggled, you're right, but today he's been good.
A good camaraderie between the sides. They're staying at the same hotel. And the young debutant goes over to tie the shoelace of Shamim Hussain. Ireland have been taught some tough cricketing lessons on this tour, but just signs today that maybe some of those lessons are being learned. Definitely their best performance in any solitary innings. Can they close it out though? Not just these 9 balls. Can they take the win? Can their batters show the depth they have? That's going to be the real acid test later in the second innings. Into the sky, there's a man out there, gone over his head. Harry Tector flies athletically to try and cut off the boundary. Was looking for the Yorker. It turned into the full toss. And Shamim is eyeing a maiden international 50.
Just been praising him. Deserved what it got. Didn't middle it, but got enough.
Hugely athletic effort from Harry Tector. We saw him before the toss, didn't we? Practicing this at length. All the fielders do now. Right on the rope. Trying to keep it inside. Over his shoulder. And put down. It's going to run away for 4. It is going to be that maiden 50 for young Shamim Hussain, 22 years of age. What a time to do it. The back's against the wall. A critical innings. He's given the Tigers a real chance.
He stood man alone today. Given an opportunity to show his hand, and he's doing just that. It just gets away from Humphreys at short fine leg. He should hang on to it though. He should hang on to it.
Very tough chance, but a definite chance. Runs away for 4. There closes with a dot. It's an important one because Shamim Hussain wanted the strike for the final over of the first innings. Bangladesh now 1-2-3 for 9. Six of the 7 bowlers used have picked up a wicket. Just Fionhan without one to his name. Yet, all of the economy rates under 8. Again, for the first time in the series. As Sterling has really rung the changes. He's tried to work his magic as the stand-in captain for Ireland. Fionhan will be given that responsibility of bowling the final over. This one's clipped into the offside. I think they'll be happy with the single. Just one more mention about those black armbands that Fionn Hand, the bowler, is wearing. It's particularly apt for him, member of Contar, for Mr. Keith Lewis passed away. Here's the 50, 5 fours and 2 sixes. He's batted so impressively.
He has, particularly in the circumstances. All the big senior players came and went. He needed to play an innings of significance. He's done that. He can finish with a few boundaries here. It could prove a challenging little chase. This Bangladesh bowling attack is a serious attack. They've got all bases covered. They've got spin, they've got pace, they've got skill.
Up towards the man and taken. Fionn Hand leaps with delight. He's a real cult hero for a reason. He'll always give you 100%, Fionn Hand. He has a 4th T20 international wicket. And it's a pretty critical one. That's the difference between maybe 124 or what could have easily been 140. And all 7 Irish bowlers used now have a wicket to their name. The best performance of the tour thus far for the men from Ireland.
Everything fell into place for them today. And the ball went to hand just when they needed it. And you rightly point out, a critical wicket. If that's a big over, then Ireland chase something that would be quite tricky. Now they just need someone to take responsibility, get a half century, an unbeaten 60, and they should have their first victory. But in the end, Bangladesh bowled out for 124.
They somehow need to find a way of keeping Shakib Al Hassan wicketless as well if they can. As positive notes are being jotted down by the Irish head coach Heinrich Milan, maybe for the first time in this tour. An exceptional bowling performance. The approach from the Tigers, you have to say, HD, it was aggressive. They kept going hell for leather right the way throughout the 20 overs.
No, it's the brand that they've spoken about. Everyone's writing about it. Everyone's talking about it. And every now and again, this is the picture that might get painted. Bowled out for 124. Couple of partnerships toward the back end. Otherwise, it could have looked very, very ugly indeed. Mark Adair was the pick of them, 3 for 25. But Paul Sterling used 4 spinners today out of the 7 bowlers used.
Spoke about learning as a captain. It's exactly what he did. There was those moments of fortune. That wasn't the best delivery, let's be fair, but Adair delight an early wicket for the first time in this series. Great credit to Harry Tector. Thought he bowled excellently today. That big wicket of Shanto. Camper then got in the act. So many of these dismissals though caught in the deep, HD.
I thought this is where Ireland were at their best. They bowled the ball nice and straight and they forced Bangladesh to go towards the mid-wicket area. And every time they did, they found a wicket. Straight, on good lengths. Bangladesh didn't stop looking to be aggressive. And they perished in the cause. Shamim did play a good hand though. He played nicely, the left-hander. A couple of wickets for Humphreys on debut.
23rd man in T20I cricket to do it. A special mention for the young left-arm spinner. He did really well, particularly after such a difficult ODI tour. Gareth Delaney got into the act. All those small marginal things went Ireland's way today. Again, not a great delivery, but straight to Paul Sterling. Adair was excellent with that solitary deliveries exception that went for 6, and it was 50. Maiden T20I 50. And then out for Shamim Hussain as George Duckle caught excellently in the deep. Ireland, their best performance of the tour. They've done maybe all the difficult work. Can they finish the job and find a win from what was really the ashes of a very difficult tour thus far? We're going to be back in about 5 or 6 minutes time with all the action. Ireland to make it 2-1 in the series. They'll need 125 to win.